This is easy.
This is easy. Like this is easy compared to the hard one.
What?
It's okay. Just it's a pickup line, more like
Mhm.
more like this type of line that men or guys.
No, I get that part, but like,
use.
what comes to my mind from the
What will come
Bible?
to your mind? Like the first thing that will come to your mind.
You said I was what?
I was reading the book of Numbers and I realized that I didn't have yours. I mean, it's literally obvious there in the pickup line itself.
Book of Numbers.
The book of Numbers.
I was overthinking it.
Yes. Must have been on the 8th day because you. What are you trying to? What? Wow.
I can't see it actually.
Not like that.
Okay.
You're like the wall of Jericho because you got me falling for you.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But
What
I mean,
scripture was?
so is it,
Yeah. I'm trying
Easy
to.
Yes. Try.
Jericho fell down under, not Moses. What's his name? I'm trying to think of the book.
Yes. So we have. Should I say?
Yes, please.
Joshua 6 verse 20. So, but then I think you got something similar to what they want to say. They literally wanted us to say the wall of Jericho falling.
Okay.
So like that's it's more like what comes to mind.
Yes.
So
yeah.
The wall of Jericho falling. All right.
I was thinking of the book itself.
Okay. Yes, they have the book in bracket. Joshua 6 verse 20. Are you a fisherman?
Mm-hmm.
Because you've caught my heart hook, lines and sinker.
The great catch.
Yes.
Peter giving Jesus his boat and then Jesus telling him to toss his net.
Okay. Jesus calling the disciple to be a fisherman, like to be fisher of men.
Yes.
So he said, are you a fisherman? Fisher of men. What I mean, even if you are not taking it, just because I'm single, I don't think I can answer this question. Mr. Becca in the building. Mr. Becca, thank you so much for coming to this channel.
Thank you.
I would like to say I'm super excited. That was why I had to go back for that extension because I'm like, nothing is going to stop this conversation today. Nothing at all. Let's start with the question, the general question. Are you single? Yes, let's start with that question. Are you single currently?
Yes, I'm single.
Okay, single, or
single to stupor.
And I say to stupor, Jesus, stupor is a lot. Were you in a relationship before?
Okay, I'm going to say something that's going to sound weird, but I've never been in a relationship before.
Never.
Wait. For clarity, no, let me clarify. Okay. I've had people I liked. Okay. I've had people like me. I've had, let's say, situationships or whatever. But like I've never officially like had a relationship where I can like, this is my girlfriend or.
So I would say you've been single since you were born.
Yes.
Even though you had someone you really wanted to be in a relationship with. But what happened? Was it that you asked her out and she rejected or so?
Okay, it started in secondary school. I had this lady, like I really liked her, and at that point I felt like, okay, like that was like the end game, and like everything, like from there we would like start dating, we'll get married and all that and all of that. But we moved. Okay. So where we were before we relocated to Abuja. So before I finished secondary school, we were getting a bit closer back then. And then the move came up and everything. So distance kind of like
disconnection. Yeah. Hey, yeah. God, I beg. Oh, may I not be disconnected from somebody that wants to ask her? But then, did you ask her out, or you were about to before you moved?
Not really. We were just really close, and like people like knew, like we were,
yeah. But like assuming that something was going on there.
Exactly. I was actually willing to even try, like, let's say, like a long distance kind of thing. Okay. But after a period of time, like, I was just done with secondary school, trying to get admission. Like life just happened basically. So after that period, like anything relationship, I was not interested. Okay. So because I was still like having like this carryover effect of like, I was still feeling like, okay, maybe something can still happen. So I didn't really give much thought to relationship. Okay. And then when I got into the university, I was like, I didn't want to date like my classmates or people that I was like in the same
class.
Exactly. So I didn't really give much thought to getting a girlfriend or finding a relationship. But then, like I said, life would happen. So I met someone and we started getting close to. And I thought maybe like I just figured like maybe the feelings were mutual or something like
Okay.
that. Then that was when she now let me know that okay, no, she's not
But
interested
what was
in.
her ex? Was she in a relationship or she was not just into you then?
I probably she was just not into me.
Oh wow. Hey, yeah, so sorry.
No, it happens. It
No, but
happens.
true, it happens. And you see, coming from you see the male species, the male gender entirely, I feel for you guys sometimes because you see, left for us, it's more like okay, we are waiting for someone to come and like express his feelings to us,
Yeah.
and if we reject, it's more like look me kukuma go meet am, na him come meet me. But you, like, how do you gather the courage? What was your reaction when she said no, or when you knew that she was not feeling the same thing?
My reaction was terrible. First of all, I think I was resuming 200 level second semester when all of this went down. So
Okay.
no, 100 level second semester when all of this
Okay.
went down. So while I was on my way, I think it was a phone call conversation we had.
Okay.
So I was supposed to leave for school that morning and everything. So while I was on my way and leaving, then we had the phone call conversation and everything. So on my way to school, like it was terrible. It was so bad that I got to school, I couldn't stay. I came back to Abuja. I didn't go home.
Like
I
the
came back.
no,
Yes,
the no make
it was
you
it
can
was it was it was heart wrenching. So I had to
Jesus.
come back to Abuja. I went to my aunt's place. I stayed there for like a week because I couldn't be like in the school environment. I was just my head
Just
was messed
stable.
up. Yeah.
So will you say it
So
affected your self-esteem?
it didn't affect my self-esteem. It just affected me as a person.
Psychologically.
Like it, I was not eating. I'm serious.
Wait.
I was not eating.
Are
My
you
my
serious?
cousins thought I was sick. Like it was that bad. Like they felt
Jesus.
the only thing I was taking was water,
Oh
then
no.
kunu,
Oh no.
water and kunu, water
Like it
and
was
kunu.
that bad.
It was terrible. But I'm the kind of person who, when something happens, it hits me hard. Then after a while, once I get over it,
You're
I'm over
fine.
it.
But I just wanted to ask now, is it that that's how male in general, like when
Hmm.
they receive a rejection, a no from a lady, is that how it affects them psychologically to the point that they won't eat?
Okay,
Like I'm so shocked.
I can't speak for every man because
Everybody, okay.
everybody has their
Yeah,
own.
yes,
There are some
yes.
guys who, like, I know I have friends who they ask multiple ladies out and rejection is like nothing to them. So once this one says no, they are like
The
already
next person,
at the
somebody's
next.
already
So for
there.
somebody like me who all my eggs are in one basket,
Yes.
like I feel it's like
Oh, jeez.
like it's terrible. Like I'm this kind of person that I can be loyal to somebody that I'm not even dating
Oh,
just
yes.
because I like the person. That
Person.
like I'm not seeing any other person. So
Okay.
for me to get that response from her, so like it really affected me. It didn't affect my self esteem, but I was down
Mm.
for a while. And in fact, that semester it affected my results.
Jesus.
I'm telling you, my GP
Yeah.
was my GP was terrible. Like when I
Jesus.
saw it, I was like, it was like a wake up call. I was like, okay, no, I need to
Come
sit up.
back,
Like
come back, come back.
forget this.
Is that why you're still single, or is it that you're afraid to maybe reach out to someone else or something?
Okay, why am I still single? I can't really say, but what I would just say is I feel like I'm at a stage where if I'm dating someone, it has to be
Yes.
something serious. I'm not looking
Okay.
for anything
Like
to while
play
away time.
around.
Exactly. So that's why I've been like extremely cautious.
Mm.
So it's not like I haven't had opportunities to be in a relationship,
Okay.
but it's just like if I sit down and I'm like, where is this thing going? Like, is this thing going anywhere? And like, is it actually worth it? So that's one of the reasons why I've not been in a
Okay. So
relationship.
you said it was when you saw your GP that you realized that relationship don't enter my
Oh,
education. No.
geez, I'm not that guy that I said I will not be.
Because of love. Oh no, so sorry. So how were you able to come back to yourself? How were you able to build confidence? Is it that you, because literally see, let me know, I think the last breakup I had, it was more like I had to, it was practical for me. I had to tell myself after going through the whole drama of I'm crying night and day. Maybe they said we should grieve. So I grieved and everything. So it was practical for my, it's more like I started telling myself things because I find it hard to believe that I was not the cause of the breakup.
Okay.
I blamed myself for everything. I mean,
Mm-mm-mm.
literally everything. So I started telling myself, I started giving reasons to myself why I'm not, because even though my part, I played a part, but not like
Okay.
I'm totally the cause. So was there like a practical steps you took to come back to your former self? both academically, emotionally, and otherwise?
I'll say there were a lot of things like family helped, my
Family.
siblings,
You
because my
opened up to
siblings
them.
are definitely my mom and my dad. They know basically everything about. Like even
Okay.
the lady I talked about in secondary school, they knew
Yes.
about her and everything. So like
Okay.
I'm an open book with my mom,
Oh wow,
especially
that's
like
so
she knows
sweet.
everything. So they
Wow.
helped a lot. Then also God helped a lot.
Okay.
Like, I think that was like my finding Jesus moment. Like I've always been a
Mm.
Christian, I've always been a believer, but like I've no I it took me a while to really understand what Christianity was to me.
Mm.
It was almost
Person.
like I was doing it like as a religious obligation, like
Yes,
going to
yes.
church
More
and
like
all
a
of that.
given thing in your
Exactly.
Christian family and
Exactly.
everything. So
So
that's
I
just it.
just had that mindset of God is God, God is God, and that's it.
Mm.
But experiencing something like that, it was like I had to now know God for myself.
For yourself.
I had to start reading books. I
Mm.
started learning, listening to sermons, watching sermons on both relationships and all these
Oh,
things.
yes.
Like trying to build myself up and
Oh,
to like realize that okay, this thing happening wasn't your fault.
wow. Wow.
This
Wow.
thing happening, it happens. Like you're not the first person
It's
who has faced
happening to,
rejection.
yeah.
You'll not be the last.
Mm.
So I had to like learn a lot of things, and yeah, God basically just brought me out of that.
That space.
Exactly. There was a book I read. I can't really remember the name. I think it was by Sam Adeyemi,
Okay.
where he was talking about it was a relationship book. I think it was his wife, either him or his wife that
That
wrote the
wrote
book.
it.
Yeah. So he was talking about relationship, how singlehood is a gift. The way we view singleness, we sometimes see it as like I can't wait to get out of this phase. Like
Mm.
I want to be in that relationship
Face
era. Like
kind of thing. I
so
mean,
he was talking about how being single, first of all, is a gift.
okay.
So we need to appreciate it for what it is.
For what it is.
Until you appreciate the fact that you are a single
Single
person
person.
and you are happy in that fact.
Mm.
If you enter a relationship with the motive of I want to enter a relationship because I don't want to be single,
Single. Mm.
it would most of the time, I'm not saying it won't work out, but
Yes.
most of the time it will end in disaster
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
motive behind you entering that
Was
relationship
wrong.
was the foundation was bad from the beginning.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. Then another lesson I learned was um, image.
Okay.
So the way he put it in the book, he said the first gift God gave to man was He made us in His own image.
Okay.
So what that means is image is important to God.
To God.
So that's why He gave it to us as a gift. So
Okay.
as a single person, you have to first of all know your identity,
Who you are.
who you are as a single person.
Yeah.
The Bible says a man will leave his um
Wife.
father
Family.
and mother,
Yes. Father.
and he would two will become one.
One.
So that two that you're talking of now, it means two whole people.
Mm.
There's this statement that people say, like they say, "You complete me." It's a cliche, like it
It's
sounds nice and all,
romantic. Yeah.
but
When
like
you hear it.
as a person going into a relationship or a marriage or whatever, you should be a whole person on your own.
Mm.
You should have an identity outside of your partner. So it's two people, two whole persons becoming one,
One.
not two half persons
Person.
trying to fill themselves up. It doesn't work that way. So that was another thing I learned, that image is vitally important. So I had to go on a journey of discovering myself. One thing that going into a relationship without knowing yourself or knowing your image does is that it's you don't give your best self to your partner.
Your best self.
Yes,
Okay.
your partner is only getting a part of you.
Mm.
So you are not the best version of yourself. But once you discover yourself and you know your identity, it doesn't mean you have it all, quote unquote. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean you have everything to offer to that person.
Wow.
It just means you know your identity, you know your purpose, you've discovered purpose,
Mm.
and you're working in purpose. So when you meet somebody who is in alignment with that purpose, it's easier
Yeah.
than for you to not know purpose. And then when you meet somebody who is not in alignment with you, you just rush into it, and then later,
Confusion.
exactly.
So you said the first lesson you learned was that going into a relationship, um, wanting to leave singlehood is
Mm-hmm.
not right.
No,
So
yeah,
it's safer to say then you wanted to enter that relationship because you wanted to leave the season of
yes,
singlehood
yes,
and you want
yes.
to, I mean,
Like you are seeing your friends, everybody is
and
with
considering the
their
fact that you were
girlfriend.
in school then. So
Exactly.
it was not like, I mean, who is the lady? And this lady was, so it's so unfortunate that she was not sharing, it was not mutual. So do you think it's proper to, I mean, have, as a guy,
Yeah.
multiple options? just because at least to save my head, if this person say no, I can go out for this person, I can go out for this person, because of course no will surely happen, right? So do you think it's safer to literally say, I beg, if I don't know day there's Abigail, if Abigail do not agree, there is this lady.
You know, I think this thing it cuts across both genders because
Okay.
for okay, let me use guys now as an example since I'm a guy. For a guy now, his peak era or his peak period is different from that of a lady.
Yes,
So you
yes.
see, guys now they get options when they are in their early 30s, mid 30s,
Mm.
whereas ladies in their mid 20s, late 20s, you see
Yeah.
them like they're in their peak era.
That's
So
true.
options are always there.
Oh, yes.
So it's not like you intentionally are looking for people around you. It's just that it happens.
It's just
So you just see if this guy today will ask you, maybe he will text you. So it's not like you are actively looking for it.
yeah.
So I can't really say whether it's a good or a bad thing. There are some people they are like, okay, how will I tell this person no without sounding rude or without sound? So they just leave that person on pause. It's not as if they are keeping the person. So having options, I can't say whether it's a bad or but what I would say is where I would say is not good is actively asking out multiple people as a guy.
Actively, more
Yes,
like it's like an
active.
intent. Yeah,
You are
intentional about
intentionally
it. You're going
exactly
to ask,
like
okay,
you've not
okay,
gotten a response from
but
A,
you're
and
already.
you're already on B's neck.
So for the ladies now, advise us as from a guy perspective.
Mm.
How do you think we should say no?
The thing is, there is no good way of saying no. Whether you say it in the nicest, no is still
You
no.
still know. I mean, you're still
So
breaking the heart of somebody.
exactly. So the thing is just cut that cord. Like rather than trying to be nice and like because the longer it goes, the more it hurts.
Yeah.
Like okay, for example, in my own case now, if I had known, if I had not assumed from the beginning,
Yes.
let's say I had made my intentions known from the very beginning before the feelings got like strong or whatever, and she actively like shut me down, it would have been easier to move on. But because I allowed it linger and I was just like vibing with the whole thing till it now became something that I had to confront, and it now turned up in a like bad outcome.
So there's no good way to
There is no
say
good way to
no.
say no. Just
You
say
say
no.
there's no good way to say no. So
Just say
please,
no.
there's no good. I mean, just say no. It's better to say no early, right? Than
Yes.
keeping it to the
Yes.
end before you now say no.
Yes.
No, it's still no.
And the another thing with not saying no on time is, as guys, we begin to develop entitlement towards that lady. Whereas we feel a sense of ownership, where you feel like um she's not your girlfriend, no,
Yes.
but you feel like you are owed
She's
something.
Mm.
So when she's like, no, you're like, what do you mean no? Like you can't. There's no way you can tell me.
At this, yes.
So
Yes.
it's better you just
Say no
from the
and
beginning,
move on.
even if the guy has not made his intentions clear, but his actions are driving towards a particular direction, you can shut it down and you can be like, see, I'm not interested in this. If this is what if it's friendship you are looking for, I can offer that. But
Yeah, please shut it down. That was what happened in that you know we're discussing about this guitar stuff.
yes,
That's what happened. I mean, that was what literally made me. I just shut down the guitar lesson for a particular time because I mean it was becoming more emotions was now involved and let's not lie to ourselves. This is no longer lesson we're doing here. This is not something else. So let's just so please just shut it down as soon as you can. Thank you so much once again, Mr.
Thank
Baker,
you,
for coming. I'm so grateful at least we did this video. Finally.
after
Thank you so much.
procrastination.
After procrastination. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Don't forget to like, share to people, share to your friends, and also subscribe to the channel.
Very
if
important.
you're not. And until next time, take care. Bye bye.
You complete me. You're more than enough for me.